All right, get my booties. So welcome everyone. Happy Monday. Glad you're here. It's Judith. It's Yoga Fusion. It's a 45-minute class where we merge yoga postures with fitness moves. All you need for the class is your body and a chair. I use a metal folding chair, just a standard chair. No wheels for sure, and preferably no arms. So improvise as best you can with what you got on hand for today. But that's sort of what we look for in a chair, what I look for in a chair. All right. I also have a yoga mat here. If you have one of those, that's nice to put it down and put your chair on the mat. Or if you have yoga props like blocks, straps, maybe hand weights, you want to have those handy, fine. They're not required. They're strictly optional. So just letting you know that that's available. All right. So let's start with the feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to place the hands on the hip crease or the waist, and we'll start circling the hips. So we're going to gently warm the body. You don't shock it by immediately doing jumping jacks or some other things. Squeezing the navel to the spine as you round in the back. So it's inhale forward, exhale, squeezing navel to spine as you round in the back. Inhale and exhale. Big full breaths. We do 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's corkscrew back to center. Now, swirling the hips in the opposite direction. Noticing if this feels the same in this direction. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. There's no self-judgment here. You're just noticing what the body is willing to produce this morning. Big full breaths. Inhale forward, exhale back for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to center, let's go ahead and inhale up. Exhale, press the air down by the side of the body. Inhale up. Exhale, press. Big stretch with the arms overhead. And the chest is square to the front of your space or your screen. Let's do 2 more of these. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's elevate the arms one more time. And now you're going to keep the chest square to the front of your space as you climb your invisible ladder, your invisible rope, giving a tug to those intercostal muscles. They attach to the side ribs. You want to keep those muscles lubricated, hydrated. So as you expand the lungs will be able to expand. They're not going to run into some sort of ossified tissue there. Big full breaths. 2 more. Nice. And then from here, the arms come out to the side. See if you can drop the shoulders away from the ears. The palms face the floor. Little pumps with the straight arm for 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those arms to stillness. Rotate the thumbs towards the earth. Now the palms face the back wall, and you're pumping the palms towards the back wall. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to center, let's bend the elbows. The arms are still parallel to the earth. We're going to twist to your right. Come back to center, twist to your left. Moving side to side, seeing if you can keep the movement only in the upper body. See if you can keep the lower body still. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back to center. Now the arms open up into goddess arms, goalpost arms, if you will. Inhale, open the chest. Maybe there's a baby back bend as you look to the sky. Exhale, press the forearms together, bowing to the earth. Inhale, open the chest to sky. Exhale, closing forearms as you bow to the earth. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Let's reopen. Back to goddess arms. Now again, twisting right, back to center, twisting left, back to center. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to center, let's re-straighten the arms. Now, isolating the ribs, you're going to slide the ribs to the right, come back to center, slide them to the left. So you're isolating the rib cage. That's all that's moving. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Only the ribs move, not the arms. You're not going to be moving your arms as you tilt to the right. Back to center, tilting left. Back to center. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Very nice. And then here, you're going to just float the arms down, resisting gravity. Try not to just let them collapse. It's tempting. All right. Shake out the arms and the shoulders. Let's go ahead and roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down, opening the chest. Inhale forward, squeezing the blades together as you exhale down the back body. Inhale and exhale. Let's do 2 more in this direction. Nice. And then going the other direction. Noticing any differences in the direction. Maybe there are differences, maybe there aren't. You're just taking the inventory to notice what the body is willing to do. Last time, inhale and exhale. Again, shake out your shoulders and your arms. You might wish to be near your chair for balance. Maybe if you have an available wall, you could be near that wall for balance. Or maybe there's a piece of furniture that's so large it's not going to move once you're pushing your weight on it. We don't want anything to give way on you. So the legs are going to stay about shoulder width apart. You're going to slide that right arm down the side, outside of the right leg, and the left fist goes into the left armpit. Coming back to center, sliding the left hand down the outside of the left leg, right fist into right armpit. And you're moving slowly side to side, taking your time with it. No need to rush. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Go back down the right side. Now you're going to elevate the left arm up to the sky. This is a modified triangle pose. You're still square to the front of your space for 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly bringing the arm down, resisting the gravity, and then sliding down the outside of the left leg. Now the right arm comes up to sky. The chest is square to the front of your space, maybe the long end of your mat if you're using a mat. For 4, 3, modified triangle. 2, 1, little circles. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Really nice. Coming back to center, slowly lowering your right arm. Now you're going to stay right where you are with the feet. You're going to turn the torso maybe 10 degrees so you're facing your right leg. You're going to take the hands down the inside of the leg, inside and outside, bending down, getting as far as you can go, and then coming right back up. Nice and slow. Try not to pop up and down. Inhaling and exhaling as you go down the sides of the leg. Here we go. Let's do 4 more of these. Nice and slow. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Inhale, exhale. Let's stay down this time. You're going to try to press your chest close to the top of the right thigh. Here you can let the head hang. Maybe you want to place one hand on your chair seat for support. For 4, 3, hello hamstrings. 2, 1, staying right here. The left hand grabs the outside of your right ankle. Left hand grabs outside of right ankle. You're going to take your right arm up to sky. So now you're in a twisting, wide leg forward fold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm comes down. You're going to take that same hand. The right hand is on the right ankle, and now you're twisting in the opposite direction over to the left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm comes down, triple slow time. You're going to take the hands up the leg, just as we did before, coming on up to standing, and then you're going to come back to center. Let's roll the shoulders a couple of times in both directions here. And now you're going to tilt the torso about 10 or 15 degrees to the left. And you're going to take the hands down the inside and the outside of the left leg, drawing it up and down the leg here. A balance challenge for sure. Breathing up and down. Let's do 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. We're going to stay down on this one. All right. So here you're going to take your right hand outside of your left ankle, right hand outside of left ankle, and you're going to extend your left arm up to sky. You're still trying to press your chest close to the top of the left thigh for 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm comes down. Left hand rests on the left ankle. You're going to twist in the opposite direction and raise up the right arm for 4, 3, 2, 1. Top arm comes down, nice and easy. Returning to your left leg. I'm going to drag the hands up the inside, the outside of the left leg slowly, and then coming back to center and shaking everything out. That should have awakened the legs a bit. Let's take the legs wide and just swing the arms like empty coat sleeves to just eliminate any tension that might have crept in there. Breathing. We'll do 4 of these. 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly unwinding, very slowly, nice and gentle. And then here, if you want to use your chair for support, this is an option. So I'm got the chair facing the long end of my yoga mat, or your perhaps invisible yoga mat. And then you're going to use the back of the chair for support for these large squats out to the side. So the legs and the feet are out 30 to 45 degrees. The knees trap over toes as we inhale, big squat. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, big squat. Exhale, straighten the legs. Let's do 4, 3, 2, stay down on 1, little pumps. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, stay down on 1, and now arms come out to 5-pointed star. Inhale, return to plie, exhale, 5-pointed star in yoga. Inhale and exhale. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly the arms come down to the back of the chair. Your legs are straight. As you heel toe the feet together or step the feet together, you can decide what works for you. Now I'm facing again the back of my chair seat. The feet are directly under your hips. Toes point forward. Let's just lift up on the tippy toes. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Waking up the feet and the ankles. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. We'll do 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, stay lifted on 1. And now you're going to find a spot right in front of you. It could be on the wall, it could be on the floor, something that doesn't move. We're going to balance here. Maybe one arm lifts up, maybe it doesn't. Maybe the second arm lifts up. You're still on your tippy toes or trying to be on your tippy toes. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms come down, heels float down. Now, the heels come together and the toes point out in a big V. So first position in ballet, for those of you who are dancers, and we'll do the same thing, lifting up and pressing down, lifting and pressing for 4, 3, 2, stay lifted on 1. Now, the same idea, little plie, and then straighten. Inhale, bend, exhale, straighten for 4, 3, 2, stay down on 1, little pumps, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs, float the heels down, shake out the feet and the legs. And now, since we're here, let's lift that right heel and just circle the ankle. So it's the ankle joint initiating the movement. You're standing nice and tall. Knee and thigh just go along for the ride. And then you're going to circle in the other direction with the ankle joint leading the action here. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Heel comes down, shift the weight over to your right, lift the left, circling the ankle, noticing any differences perhaps in this ankle or not. And then you circle the other direction. Big full breaths, remembering to coordinate the breath with the movement. And then shaking that out. Let's have the feet directly below the hips. And this one, you're just going to bounce the heels here. Maybe a 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch. And here we're working on distributing the blood throughout the body, chi, life force throughout the body, and lymph. We're also working on bone density. So we're strengthening the feet, the ankles, the calves. And you can move the rest of the body any way that feels right, or maybe let the body move you. We'll do 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slowly bringing it down. Don't just abruptly stop. I'm really feeling that in my calves. Boy, oh boy. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the chair. And should you happen to have props like straps, blocks, and hand weights, that's fine to have them handy. If you don't have them, don't worry about it, okay? So I'm going to move the chair back a bit. And then we're going to place the bum mindfully on the chair seat, closer to the front of the chair seat than the back of the chair seat. Pull the flesh away from the sits bones. Hands can rest on the thighs, the palms face down. I'm going to take the torso, swirl it from right to left, and then back from left to right. So you're squeezing the abs as you sweep through center. Breathing deep, full breaths. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Very nice. And now the hands can remain down, facing down on the thighs. I'm adding 1 pound weights, but I would recommend for this class, if you want to use weights, only nothing heavier than 2 pounds. So I have little 1 pounders here, otherwise nothing. And the palms face down on the thighs. You're going to sit nice and tall. Inhale, exhale, exhale. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, lift those legs. 3, 2, 1. Nice. Nice. Coming back to neutral now. Maybe giving the legs a little shake. Let's stay on the right this time. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then coming back to center, maybe giving the legs a shake. Moving to the left side. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Very nice. And then scooting up again to the front part of your chair seat. And then the arms can come down by the side of the body. The palms face the midline. No weight, or perhaps one weight in each hand. It's going to be shrug and drop. Shrug and drop for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Back to neutral. Palms face outward. If you're not using a weight, it's just a soft fist. Now the arms are going to stay straight. The palms will face the ceiling. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Hold the arms up. Palms face the earth. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Come out to the side. Come slowly down. And now you're going to just tilt your torso forward, maybe 20 degrees. The palms still face the midline. And if you're not using a weight, it's a soft fist. Inhale, exhale, flies. Inhale, exhale. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Coming down. And now just rolling the shoulders. I'm going to move forward. Stay where you are in your chair. I'm just going to move forward a little bit because we're going to work on hand things this morning. I think that was a request last time we did this. So you're going to take, I'll probably stand here and see how we go. Here we go. So this is really crazy. All right. So the wrists are going to be moving. See if I can get here. I am in front of the camera. Here we go. So the palms face downward. You've got your upper arms close to your side ribs. And the only thing moving is the wrists. So it's exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we go back to neutral. Now the palms face the ceiling. Same thing, only the wrists are moving, not your arms, just the wrists. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Coming back to neutral, I'm going to lose the weights here for now. And now we're going to work on the hands. So from here, we're going to start I think I can sit and do this. Maybe you can. Okay, yes. Good. We're going to tap the heel of the hands together. Tapping. This, of course, encourages blood flow, especially if you have arthritis, that's inflammation. So you're trying to get more blood flow into these digits. And then you're going to take to the outside of the hands. You're going to tap there. Tapping. Ah. And when that feels complete, you're going to take a fist in one hand and you're going to pound the palm of the other hand. And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Fist into the opposite palm. And then you're going to take the backs of the hands and you're going to rub them together or tap them. You can decide. I don't have a lot of subcutaneous fat left on my hands, so rubbing feels better. If you're rubbing, be sure you go in both directions. And then you're going to flip the hands and do the same thing, either tapping or rubbing. Nice work, you guys. And then we're going to bring that to stillness, shake out the fingers, and then taking each individual finger and just removing any energetic garbage off of those fingers that doesn't belong there. You're going to go to the other hand. This is something you can do if your hands really suffer from a lot of arthritis. All right. Then you're going to take 3 fingers. You're going to place it on your wrist. And then you're going to just tap right there. No tapping. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Taking the 3 fingers, you're going to place it there, and you're going to tap up here. Tapping. Noticing any differences on this hand. We'll do 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then just shake it out. Let's interlace the fingers, and you're going to twist the wrists so that you're making a figure 8 with your wrists. Here we go. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to go the other way. Figuring that little brain gym there. Right? For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then shake everything out. One more thing. You're going to grab the back of your hand. Doesn't matter which one. Interlace the fingers there, and then just kind of drag the hand down like you're putting on your opera gloves. It's such a struggle to put those things on, isn't it? Let's do 2 more of these. Really sending some love to your hands, and then you're going to do the other side as well. You just drag it down, putting on your other opera glove. Last one. And I forgot one more thing, so shake that out. One last thing, taking an index finger and a thumb. You're going to take the web. No, we'll start in the palm of the hand. So one finger goes in the palm of the hand. The second finger goes behind. So you're squeezing on a reflexology point right in the center of the palm. And you can hold it here for as long as feels right, maybe 30 seconds, maybe less. You can decide what works or not. And then you're going to release that, and with the index finger and thumb, then you're going to go to the web between the thumb and the index finger. So you got that webbing there. So one finger comes in front and the other finger goes in the back, and you're squeezing. Now I like to squeeze down at the base of the thumb because that's where I have the pain, but you can decide, and you're holding it. Let's hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Other hand, index finger, thumb. In the middle, and then in the back. And you're going to hold it, and you're going to press for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then getting there in that webbing between the thumb and the index finger, you're going to take the one finger pressing. I like to press it toward the base of the thumb. And then I like little wiggles in here, little squeezy, wiggly things. Getting the blood in there. for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then now we're done with hands. And that's a nice thing you can do for your hands when you wake up in the morning. The other trick too is to run it under hot water. And that will also get blood flowing as well. So that was this little special chapter on hands. And so you're still in your chair seat. Let's stay in the chair seat for now. All right. And here you can slide all the way to the back of your chair seat so the thighs have some kind of support. And you're going to extend one leg long. You're going to extend the second leg long. You're going to keep the feet flexed. And you're going to point and flex those feet. While you're pointing and flexing the feet, think about spreading the toes wide. You want to get blood into those little tiny digits in your feet. And then you might want to add in ankle circles or not. And if you're circling, you can circle in both directions. I like doing this when I get into bed sometimes. Just see, oh, how do my feet feel? For 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And now the feet are returned to being flexed. You're going to come a little bit wider, not too much. External rotation with both feet, back to center. Internal rotation with the feet. Exhaling, inhaling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then maybe those legs can start moving and maybe those arms want to come up. This is staff pose in yoga, but you're doing it in a chair for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Arms are going to float down and the legs are going to come to stillness. That was very nice. And here again, you might wish to shake the legs out. Now I'm going to scoot forward to the front part of the chair seat. Now everybody's going to turn to their right. So now the right arm is straight out from your armpit. You're staring down the middle finger of your right hand. And I'm raising my other hand to grab the back of the chair seat. You're twisting to the right until you come to a sticking point, and there you will stop. And then both hands come to the back of the chair. You're in a seated twist for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Now slightly releasing. Don't go all the way up, just a little bit. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn, maybe a little deeper. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly unwinding it. Don't rush it. Coming back to center. And everybody turns to their left. I'm going to grab some water right now. I have an opportunity. Okay. So everybody's turning to the left. Left arm goes straight out from the armpit. You're staring down the middle finger of your left hand. Right hand is already grabbing the back of the chair seat. You're twisting left until you come to your sticking point. And there you will stop. Both hands are on the back of your chair for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slightly release, not too much. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. Inhale, slightly release. Exhale, squeeze and turn. We'll do 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly unwinding, very slowly. I'm going to grab a block. You don't really need one there, but that might be useful or not. So again, you're going to cross right ankle on top of left thigh, right ankle on top of left thigh. And you're going to take your right hand and you're just going to pulse the soft part of your thigh. And what we're doing is we're moving the femur bone, but we're pumping synovial fluid into the right side of your pelvic girdle. Now, the synovial fluid is the WD-40 of the body. We're lubricating our joints. The only way that happens to get the synovial fluid pumping is to move the joint. So we're moving it. All right, bringing that to stillness, you're going to take your right forearm underneath the right calf. You're going to lift that leg up if that's available and just rock your baby here. If you want to name your baby, that's an option. The little twin. Or maybe you want to circle the bent knee. And if you circle the bent knee, be sure you circle in both directions. Oh, breathing nicely. And then you're going to replace your right ankle on top of the left thigh. From here, you're going to float the arms up. Inhale up. Exhale, stretch over, over, over. Maybe the hands come to the earth. Mine aren't even close. Maybe they might want to come to a block. Or if they don't get there, you can just grab opposite elbows. This top right foot is flexed. Now you want to externally rotate the top right foot. You should immediately feel it in your outer right hip. So think about leaning forward with your chest. Don't let the head dangle. There's a wire, an invisible wire attached to the center of your chest, leading you forward. And you're feeling your stretch in that outer right hip for 8, and maybe you want to do little micro movements, and maybe you don't. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Coming back to center, floating upright, triple slow time. Right hand comes on right kneecap, unwinding the leg and just circling the femur bone into the pelvic girdle. Let's circle the other direction. Very nice. And then bringing that leg to stillness. Let's take the left ankle and cross it on top of the right thigh. Left ankle on top of right thigh. You're sitting tall in your chair. Left hand gently pulses the soft part of the inside of the left thigh. And you're sitting tall and you're remembering to breathe. And when that pumping feels complete, bringing that to stillness, left forearm slips underneath left calf, other hand grabs the foot. Now you're rocking your twin, your baby twin. Maybe you're circling the knee. Maybe it's just east to west, side to side. You can choose. This side might feel different than the other side. And you're going to replace that ankle back on top of the right thigh. The top left foot is flexed. Arms come out, inhale up. Exhale, it's like you're stretching over something. Again, my hands don't reach the earth. I'm going to grab opposite elbows. And then this top left foot is flexed, and then you're going to externally rotate that foot. You should also feel it immediately in your outer left hip, that pull. And maybe it's a static press. Try not to let the head dangle. Or maybe it's little wiggles side to side. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Slowly rise up. Don't just pop up. Left hand on left kneecap, unwind the leg and just circle the femur bone into the left side of your pelvic girdle. And then you're going to circle in the other direction. Very nice. And you're breathing. Very good. Let's go ahead and just shake that out. Let's just bounce the legs. This is another good move you can make if you feel groggy in the morning. Just throw the legs over the side of the bed and just bounce your legs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then slowly coming back to stillness. Interlacing the fingers, you're going to press the palms away. And here we're going to make a figure 8 movement with the arms here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. And then back to center. The palms can come back towards closer to your chest. Both arms shift over to the right, and they're going to stay there, and you're going to look to the left with the head and the neck. A big stretch here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Arms slide over to the left. Head and neck look to the right. Modify as you need for 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Unwinding the hands, shaking everything out. And let's just take our 4 fingers together with the thumbs. So you have like little bird beak hands. You don't even have to do that. You can just, we're going to start tapping on the head. So you're going to just take either bird beak hands or just general tapping with the ends of your fingertips on the crown of the head. And then you're going to tap over here by the forehead gently. This isn't, violent. You're right here above the eyebrows. And then you're going to tap in the center, the third eye. We're going to neglect our third eye for our visions. And then you're going to circle around the eye socket. Just tapping gently around the eye socket. Right here, just below the nose, the upper lip, you're tapping on the upper lip. And then you're going to go below to the chin, below the lower lip. And let's just go up the jawline just to be thorough. Let's go back up to the crown of the head. Tapping on the forehead, above the eyebrows, the third eye. And then you're going to circle the eye sockets. And then you're going to go down to the upper lip, below the nose. Go to the chin, just below the lower lip. And then back to the jawline. One more time, back up to the crown of the head. Tapping on the forehead. And then circling the eyes. Going below the nose, going below the lip, the lower lip, and doing your jaw. And then just shaking everything out. Scooting all the way to the back of your chair, palms down, crown of head floating to sky, feet are flat. And you're going to drop into a very brief Shavasana, resting pose here in the chair. And once you've organized your body this way, just close the eyes, or maybe it's a soft gaze on the earth if you don't want to close the eyes. And notice the effects of the practice, noticing any shifts in energy. Relaxing the face and the jaw, the back of the neck. And while we rest here, here's a very short poem from the late, great Mary Oliver, a poem entitled Today. Today I'm flying low, and I'm not saying a word. I'm letting all the voodoos of ambition sleep. The world goes on as it must. The bees in the garden rumbling a little, the fish sleeping, the gnats getting eaten, and so forth. But I'm taking the day off, quiet as a feather. I hardly move, though really I'm traveling a terrific distance. Stillness, one of the doors into the temple. If you'd like to remain in Shavasana for as long as feels right, please feel free to stay right there. But if you're ready to meet the day, begin to bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes and arms and legs. And on the next inhale, floating the palms up overhead, hands meet in prayer. Dropping down the midline, stopping at the heart, samastiti, this beating heart. May you be happy. May you be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May you know peace. I salute the bright light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Jai Bhagwan. Okay, we're stopping now. And if you have questions, please let me know. All these floating hearts, thank you. If you have questions, I believe